3.6 liter V6 feels. It's good. It's got decent torque. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over a 2022 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon. First and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Miller Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy, Utah for giving me some time with this Gladiator. Check out the inventory in the description down below, and they actually have quite a few Rubicons for sale. As you guys can see, they have like a million of them, so if you're looking for a Gladiator Rubicon, they have you covered. And then on a side note, I just released my car buying course, link in the description down below if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car. Let's get into the video. So under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 3.6 liter V6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy 17 around town, and then 22 on the highway, with power outputs being 285 horsepower and then 260 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end of the Gladiator Rubicon. So first off, you've got the venting on either side of the hood that's part of the Rubicon package. And then you have this you can lower down the windshield onto, or it also doubles as the little windshield cleaner as well. Got the Rubicon logo here off to the side. And then this one has got the full LED lights here for the turn signals and for the headlights as well. And then this one has the satin front grille. Notice we've got the steel bumper on this particular one, with the red toe hooks that are part of the Rubicon package. Fog lights right there. And overall, this one finished in silver with the black grille, I think looks really cool. Now coming on the side here, we've got 285mm tires wrapped around 17-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. If you're wondering, they're 33s. I've always loved the design of the wheels on the Rubicons. Just looks really cool. And then you got the little Jeep right there. And then you guys can see here with the front suspension, we got the solid front axle, Fox shocks that are part of the Rubicon package. And then you guys can see the massive fender flare here. You got the Jeep Gladiator badge, got the trail rated badge right there as well. Notice the door handles match the fender flare and the top and the mirrors. And here's your full side view on the Gladiator. And then you guys can see here with the side, we got the rock rail for added protection. Then we got the Fox shocks here in the rear as well. And, well, that's all. So here is our key fob for the Gladiator. You got the unlock, the lock, the remote start as well. And then we've got the flip out function with the key. And if we lock that back up, pop here into the bed, we have the bed liner, and we have a payload capacity of 1,067 pounds. Wow, almost messed up there. Got the LED lights here in the rear as well. And yeah, decent sized bed again. This is a mid-sized pickup truck technically, and there you go. Now let's finish things up here with the rear of the Gladiator. You guys can see the LED lights here in the back. Got the Jeep logo, again red tow hooks here on the bottom with the receiver hitch there in the center. And yeah, other than that, nothing too crazy happening from a rear perspective. And here's the door panel in the back. You guys can see the red stitching that goes throughout, and then all of the padding. And then here are the seats. This one has the upgraded leather seats, so you can see here with the stitching there on the side again. And then we've got the vents here on the back, and then you got the window controls here. We've got some USBs and a full power outlet as well. And then you do have the under seat storage on top of that. So overall, it's very practical from a rear perspective, and so yeah. Now here's the door panel at the front. You guys can see again with the red stitching, the padding right there. And then here's a quick look at the mirror. It is heated. Got the mirror adjustments, window controls down below. And then we've got the front seat, the Rubicon logo again with the stitching all throughout. We've got our manual seat adjustments right here, the pedal layout down below. Got the light control here with the fog light and the cargo light. Steering wheel is manually adjustable, and there's room to look before we pop in. That's pretty cool. Here is the steering wheel for the Gladiator. You guys can see the leather trim all around, and then we've got the stitching here in the center, cruise control, radio controls there on the back, phone control, voice command control, all that fun stuff, controls for the center stack as well, turn signal stock, got the windshield wiper stock, and there's the steering wheel. Here is the center gauge cluster. You guys can see you've got the RPMs on the left side, you got the speed over there on the right side, and then here in the center stack there's a bunch of different menus that you can scroll through to see different bits of information here on the Gladiator. Most important, tire pressure, and then obviously the off-road status as well. And there's a center. We've got the center infotainment system here. If we pop it into reverse, you guys can see we've got the backup camera. We do have the zoom function here for the receiver hitch. Trajectory lines do turn with the steering wheel. And moving from that, you guys can see we've got the heated seats, heated steering wheel as well, which we're going to turn that off right now. And then we do have the dual zone climate controls, navigation on this particular one. And then we've got the off-road pages, which are like the performance pages that you have on Dodges, but then for off-road stuff because it's a Jeep. Down below here, we've got our analog controls for like the radio, climate controls as well, controls for the heated seats, and we've got our off-road cruise control, stability control, auto stop start, window controls here in the center, and then you guys can see we've got the little media tab right there, 12 volt. We've got the front and rear locker control here because it's a Rubicon, sway bar disconnect, off-road plus, auxiliary switches here on the other side. And then you can see here, we've got the shifter for the 8-speed automatic. We have our driveline selects. We have our 2-wheel high, 4-wheel high, neutral, and then 4-wheel low. Notice we have the parking brake right here with the red stitching, and then you can see here at the center console has a USB there. Got the key holder here in the center. Got the grab handle, and then you guys can see here the glove box. Red stitching on the dash, and then finishing things up here at the very top. This one does have the top insulation, and then the first part of the top you can take off with just these little latches. The rear, you gotta use tools, but it's not terribly difficult, and it does have insulation there in the back as well if you guys are wondering. So we got the window sticker here for the Rubicon, and of course we got glare, but this one's pretty much fully loaded. So we've got a total MSRP of $63,610, and wait for it, wait a little bit longer. Let's take it out and see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Got visibility over the hood, both of the mirrors, and throughout the rest of the rear. And let's set off. So, setting off here in the Gladiator Rubicon. And first off, I do want to mention, I love the seating position of Jeeps. And this applies to Gladiator and to the Wrangler mainly. But all Jeeps have good seating position, but like especially the Gladiator and the Wrangler. Like you just sit kind of high up, and there's tons of headroom, so it's fine. But you just have this like feeling where you're kind of like forward and high, and I don't know, it just feels good. It feels natural, especially being an off-road enthusiast. This is like the seating position that I want with an off-road vehicle. So I think that Jeeps just nailed that. And these leather seats are comfortable as well. They come with the loaded up Rubicon package. You can get cloth seats in a Rubicon, but I definitely recommend upgrading to these ones because they're easier to wash if you do get them dirty with some off-road fun, and they're really comfortable. Now this does have the Jeep steering where it's got some vagueness to it, but you get used to it, you really do, and it's not as bad as it used to be in the past. It's direct for a Jeep, but it's the price you pay for a solid front axle. 8-speed automatic transmission is quick to shift, so if I go into the manual mode, downshifts are super smooth, which is great. And I love how easy that manual mode is to use. That's definitely a big plus. And you guys can kind of see like height-wise, like we're, you know, that's a Ram heavy duty there, and you know, we're pretty tall. We're not as tall as them, but you know, we're up there, right? And the other thing I want to mention is I love the touch points on the Gladiator as well. Like the leather steering wheel feels really nice. Shifter feels nice. Everything feels sturdy in this interior and very durable. And the thing that's cool is like you can spray down this interior. That's why everything's kind of like sealed off and all that. So that's kind of another cool feature of the Gladiator. And we of course have run into 402. We're getting into rush hour traffic time, so it's the most exciting time of the day. Just kidding. But let's get up here and get our acceleration, see how this 3.6 liter V6 feels. It's good. It's got decent torque. You can get the EcoDiesel in the Gladiator now, and here's what I have to say. The V6 is great, and it's what most people are going to get because it has more than enough power. But if you can afford to swing the EcoDiesel, and if you can find one, I recommend it. That powertrain is just phenomenal. It's really torquey and it feels great. in the Gladiator. The V6 though, it's right where it needs to be for like a mid-size off-road truck. And yeah, that'll get me into setting things up here with the Gladiator. So first off, exterior wise, with the Rubicon package, having the off-road tires, you know, the black front grille on this particular one with the silver, it's a great looking vehicle. So just has a lot of road presence. And then interior wise, it's a Jeep interior, right? It's not necessarily like full-scale luxury, but seats are comfortable, steering wheel feels great, everything feels durable in the interior, which is kind of, I don't know, it's what I'd want if I was going to have a vehicle like this. And then from a driving perspective, it's very daily drivable. It's comfortable, it's got decent get up and go. The 8-speed automatic transmission is super smooth and quick to shift. And I mean, the solid front axle, you really don't notice it all that much. Off-road, you will notice it if you go over like big enough bumps, but like on road, there's not really anything big enough to really let you know that, hey, this has a solid front axle. The steering feels a little bit more vague than a normal vehicle, but it's like, it's not bad at all. This is such a daily drivable vehicle now. So yeah, that is the Rubicon Gladiator. That's going to sum things up for our video on this 2022 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Miller Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy for giving me some time with the Gladiator. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I'll see you guys in the next video.